Aidan, thanks very much. One place to start, though, and that is with Manchester City tonight, who are about to make Kyle Walker the most expensive defender in world football history. And it looks like they're not stopping there as they prepare to battle Arsenal and Real Madrid for a striker. Let's go live now to the Etihad Stadium this Thursday evening and join my colleague Ben Ransom. Ben, what about it? Tell us more about this deal.
Yes, quite staggering, isn't it? Manchester City, we're told, have now agreed a fee with Tottenham for Kyle Walker in excess of £50 million. It would make him the world's most expensive ever defender. And we're told that it could well be that he's on his way to Manchester because we understand he's going to be having a medical in Manchester tomorrow. That's how quickly this deal has progressed. And I don't think we should regard it as any coincidence that we saw earlier this week Dani Alves opt to join PSG. They gazumped Manchester City despite a very good contract offer on the table for Alves. I think that Pep Guardiola thought he would get his former Barcelona man to join him here, but instead he opted to go to Paris Saint-Germain, and very quickly Manchester City increased their offer for Kyle Walker to in excess of £50 million, a fee which Tottenham have deemed acceptable, and we understand that now means the deal is edging ever closer. You can see why Pep Guardiola has made this move. He made Kyle Walker a key target earlier in the summer. A fullback is an area they definitely need to strengthen, Manchester City, having lost some keen men in the summer already, didn't they? Out of contract, Zabaleta, Clichy, Sagna. So it's an area where they had to bring reinforcements in, and it looks as though at right back they've found one such player.
Wow, well, they are making the headlines tonight. And Ben, City also close, we're hearing, to signing another defender. Can you tell us more on that?
Yeah, it's not just at right back, Jim. Left back as well, because Benjamin Mendy, the Monaco player, who Monaco themselves said it would take an exceptional bid for them to part with Mendy and let him leave this summer. Well, it looks as though Manchester City have made such a bid, because it's our understanding that in the last 24 hours, again, there have been some serious progress made on this deal. Now, it's our information that Manchester City were looking to try and sign Mendy earlier in the summer for around £40 million. Well, Monaco, we know, were trying to hold out for more than 50. Well, it appears as though the clubs have come to an arrangement, and this deal also edging closer. I'm told there was a board meeting a little bit earlier on, and this is one of the deals that was almost certainly spoken about as Manchester City close in on not one, but two £50 million fullbacks. How about that?
Wow.
Yeah, very interesting there from Graham Hunter, and it's certainly been one of the biggest and most eventful days of the transfer window so far. Let's nip over to the left-hand side here, and this man, of course, is expectation of more to come. But let's have a look at what's been happening today, because Sky sources are telling us that Monaco have agreed a £40 million deal with Chelsea for midfielder Timu Bakayoko. That deal has yet to be signed, but this week the player is expected to have a medical, which has been delayed slightly due to a knee injury he suffered at the end of last season. Sources in France say Manchester United were interested in signing him, but that was denied by club insiders. Now, of course, lots of these deals have knock-on effects elsewhere. Let's move over again to the left-hand side and see what it means for this man. We're told Nemanja Matic is still an option Manchester United are considering, but Chelsea are expected to be reluctant to let him leave for Old Trafford after, of course, what happened last week with Romelu Lukaku. And it doesn't end there as far as Chelsea are concerned, because it looks like they're going to let a very promising player leave, albeit temporarily. Stoke are now favourites to sign this man, Kurt Zouma, on loan from Chelsea after talks took place between the two clubs yesterday. He's expected to sign a new Chelsea contract and be loaned out immediately. Stoke are offering to pay all his wages, and we understand around 20 clubs, staggering, isn't it, have expressed an interest in taking him on loan. Let's find out exactly what Manchester United are doing. They've received a blow, we understand, in pursuit of this player. Inter say Ivan Perisic is not going to Manchester United. Inter Milan's sporting director Piero Ausilio was a special guest on Sky Sport Italia last night, live from Inter's training camp in the Alps. And this is what he said when asked about Perisic going to United. It's not going to happen. He's training very well with us. We have not considered anything they have offered. Now, let's get away from that and to the last in this belt. A very, very big deal on the verge of happening, it would appear. Sky sources telling us that Everton have had a bid in the region of £40 million rejected by Swansea for this man, the talismanic midfielder Gylfi Sigurdsson. The club announced via social media that the player had not travelled on their pre-season tour of the US this morning, as he is not in their words, this is the right frame of mind. Swansea holding out for a potential buyer to meet their £50 million valuation, which they believe could be met with the inclusion of add-ons in any deal. OK, lots more to get through, lots of deals being done. Let's check in with Leicester City, one that's kind of moving but kind of not. But let's get a picture of him up first and tell you a bit more about him. Sky in Italy are saying Roma have made contact with the agent of Riyad Mahrez to discuss a possible move to the Serie A club. Leicester want around £27 million, but they've reiterated to us earlier this afternoon that so far they've received no bids. Let's check in with Stoke City. Not too far away from Stoke, but or sort of from Leicester rather, but they are closing in on another signing, and it's a familiar face. And this one's been in the offing for a couple of days. Dutch defender Bruno Martins Indy remains in Portugal and is training with Porto. We understand Stoke are still interested in doing a permanent deal for the player after he spent last season on loan there. We're told another Premier League club have made an offer, and German club Schalke are one of a number of European teams interested in taking him. Of course, he made a big impression and got back into the Dutch national team last season as a result of his good form at Stoke. Let's head up to the North East and Newcastle United. One bid's already gone in. What's the latest on Jacob Murphy? Sky sources are telling us that representatives of the Norwich winger have travelled to East Anglia today to see if they can ease through a deal to take him to Newcastle. As I say, the Premier League club saw an £8 million bid rejected by Norwich this week, but the England under-21 international is determined to play in the Premier League, and it looks like he may be moving a little bit closer to getting his wish granted. Let's dip down into the Championship, staying in the North East, of course. Let's get to Middlesbrough, one of our relegated clubs, of course, and news of a done deal there. Danish international Martin Braithwaite has been on Teesside today to complete his £9 million move to Middlesbrough. The striker has undergone a medical at the club's training ground after Toulouse in France accepted Borough's bid for their captain. Braithwaite is new manager Gary Monk's third signing. Let's go to Sunderland, of course, looking to bring in a bit of experience as they try to get back to the Premier League after 10 years outside of the Championship. Outside the Championship, above the Championship, of course. Nonetheless, Aidan McGeady is on Wearside, finalising his move to Sunderland. The Republic of Ireland winger is currently undergoing his medical after resolving a contractual dispute with Everton yesterday. And let's check in with another player they're trying to bring in who also has a strong Everton connection. He was at Derby as well. James Vaughan discussing personal terms in the North East after a fee in the region of £900,000 was accepted by League One side Bury. He scored 24 goals for the club last season.